So we live?
We are.
All right. So here we are at the Goffstown YMCA Allard Center. Goffstown High School swim team. We have here tonight Goffstown, Concord High, Exeter High, Nashua High School, and John Stark. Should be actually a quick meet.
Only a few teams this time around. One of the smaller events that we've had so far this year.
Yes. So right now, it's event number 1, women's 200-yard medley relay. Lane 1 is Exeter, lane 2 is Exeter, lane 3 is Goffstown, lane 4 is Goffstown, and lane 5 is Exeter. The team from in lane 3 is represented by Abby Poison, Emily Holdendale, Jess McGregor, and Johanna Dillaway. The Goffstown team in lane 4 is Eden Locke, Tegan Bevaquata, Heather Holt, and Abby Danielson. Goffstown ended 4th and 5th in that race. Exeter came in first. Next event is event 2, men's 200-yard medley relay. One heat, lane 2 is Exeter, lane 3 is Exeter, and lane 4 is Exeter. Goffstown is not represented.
Incredibly strong start from the team in lane 3. Pulling very far ahead of their teammates.
It's typically their A team.
Definitely showing it tonight.
Next event is the women's 200-yard freestyle. Heat 1 in lane 2 is Abby Danielson from Goffstown. Lane 3 is Alexia Rosa from Exeter, and lane 4 is Lexi Quinn from Concord High School. Abby Danielson is a freshman this year, so just with the team once. The state cut time for the girls 200 free is 2:22.99. Next up is women's 200-yard freestyle heat number 2. Lane 2 is Samantha Taylor from Exeter. Lane 3 is Regan Lord from Exeter. Lane 4 is Erin Madden from Exeter. And lane 5 is Anna Ashka from John Stark.
And the John Stark team, of course, training together here at the Goffstown Y with the Goffstown team. Very tight grouping of these swimmers.
Regan Lord is definitely pulling ahead. They're all, looks like Regan Lord is a freshman. Erin Madden from Exeter is also a freshman, and the other Exeter teammate is a sophomore.
Definitely seeing a substantial lead in lane 3 now.
Regan Lord comes in first. Next event, event number 4, men's 200-yard freestyle. Lane 2 is Aaron Safarian from Concord High School. Lane 3 is Jacob Bishop from Exeter. Lane 4 is Alex Ferris from Exeter. And lane 5 is Cooper Thompson from Exeter. The state cut time for the men's 200 free is 2:16.99. Exeter definitely came with a large team, and they have some dominant swimmers, it appears. Jacob Bishop from Exeter will take first place. Next event is the women's 200-yard individual medley. Heat 1, lane 2 is Laura Mustard from Exeter. Lane 3 is Hannah Lord from Exeter. Lane 4 is Megan Vanderwood from Exeter. And lane 5 is Daniel LeClaire from Exeter. The state cut time for the 200 individual medley for females is 2:39.99.
We're seeing a fun trend begin to emerge in lane 3, as that for the last several heats has been the dominant lane.
I believe that's how they seed the events. As the fastest time is in lane 3. The next fastest time would be in lane 2. 4, 1, 5.
Now these swimmers definitely showing those chops off tonight.
Sorry, my mistake. It goes 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 6 is the event fastest to slowest in the heat.
Okay.
So lane 3, Hannah Lord from Exeter will easily finish first in this event. Next event is event number 6, men's 200-yard individual medley. Lane 2, Kevin Quinn from Concord High School. Lane 3, Will Baker from Exeter High School. Lane 4, Charles Blake from Exeter High School. In lane 5, Andrew Cataldo from Exeter High School. The state cut time for the 200 individual medley for the boys is 2:34.99.
Got a close race happening in lanes 3 and 4. And now a leader beginning to emerge.
Lane 3, Will Baker is they're both seniors. Will Baker and Charles Blake from Exeter. Will Baker is slowly pulling ahead of his teammates. Will Baker from Exeter will come in first place. Next event is event number 7, women's 50-yard freestyle. Heat 1 out of 7. Lane 1, Phoenix Trinity Irish of Goffstown. Lane 2 is Maggie Heathfield from Goffstown. Lane 3 is Lauren Buckland of Exeter. Lane 4 is Lily Ferdinand from Exeter. Lane 5 is Emily DiMartino from Exeter. And lane 6 is Eden Locke of Goffstown. Goffstown's got 3 swimmers in this heat. The state cut time for the 50 free for the women's is a 28:49. I like this event because it is just purely how fast you can go.
Yes.
There's no pacing yourself in this one.
These young ladies clearly giving it all they've got.
That was Lauren Buckland from Exeter, who won that heat. Heat number 2, lane 1, Violet Somerville from Exeter. Lane 2, Emma Atley from Exeter. Shannon O'Brien in lane 3 from Exeter. Riley Mantell from Exeter. Lane 5 is Madison Montgomery of Exeter. And lane 6 is Maggie Henson from Goffstown. So first place in that heat will go to Shannon O'Brien from Exeter. Heat 3 of 7. Lane 1 is Casey Wozowick from John Stark. Lane 2 is Maddie Duclos of John Stark. Lane 3 is Emily Ronette of Exeter. Lane 4 is Heather Holt from Goffstown. Lane 5 is Tati Baya from Concord. And lane 6 is Tegan Bevacqua of Goffstown. Basically all at the turn at the same time.
This one a very competitive heat.
First place in that heat goes to Emily Ronette of Exeter. Heat 4 of 7. Lane 1 is Elizabeth Siegfried of Exeter. Lane 2 is Allison Childs of Exeter. Lane 3 is Abby Danielson of Goffstown. Lane 4 is Grace Sullivan of Exeter. Lane 5 is Jalen Bevois of John Stark. And lane 6 is Mary Moran from Concord. Elizabeth Siegfried from Exeter wins that event. Heat 5 of 7. Lane 1, Grace Mercier of Exeter. Lane 2 is Emlyn Reed of Exeter. Lane 3 is Eleanor Braun of Exeter. Lane 4 is Madeline Brown of Exeter. Lane 5 is Isabel Gainley of Exeter. And lane 6 is Emily Holendell of Goffstown. Madeline Brown of Exeter wins that heat. Heat 6 of 7. Lane 1, Allison Kelly of Exeter. Lane 2 is Isabel Vanderwood of Exeter. Lane 3 is Megan Rocha of Exeter. Lane 4 is Alexia Rosa of Exeter. Lane 5 is Abby O'Brien of Concord. And lane 6 is Abby Poisson of Goffstown. Abby O'Brien from Concord wins that heat. Heat 7 of 7. Lane 1, Jess McGregor of Goffstown. Lane 2, Olivia Pelletier of Exeter. Lane 3, Hannah Lord of Exeter. Lane 4 is Isabel Najer of Exeter. Lane 5, Kaylin Patch of Exeter. And lane 6 is Danielle LeClaire of Exeter.
Looks like we should see some very strong times from this heat.
Hannah Lord of Exeter wins that heat. Next event, event number 8, men's 50-yard freestyle. Heat 1, lane 1, Alejandro Donati of Exeter. Lane 2, Parker Bell of Goffstown. Lane 3, Joey Mahorkroy of John Stark. Lane 4 is David Doucette of Exeter. And lane 5 is Oliver Blake of Exeter. David Doucette of Exeter wins that heat. Heat 2 of 2. Lane 1, Cooper Thompson of Exeter. Lane 2, Thompson Crochet of Exeter. Lane 3 is Jack Carrigan of Exeter. Lane 4 is Harrison Blondeau of Goffstown. Lane 5 is Jay Blasco of Concord. And lane 6 is Trent Douse of John Stark. Lane 3, Jack Carrigan of Exeter wins that heat. Be a short break. We'll be back. Lily Fernald of Exeter will win this heat. Heat number 2 of 6. Lane 1 is Riley Mantell of Exeter. Lane 2 is Lily Fifield of Concord. Lane 3 is Tati Baja of Concord. Lane 4 is Madison Montgomery of Exeter. Lane 5 is Lauren Buckland of Exeter. And lane 6 is Shannon O'Brien of Exeter.
Very strong show of support from both the Goffstown team and the other teams on the wall.
Very friendly competition.
Very.
Gonna be a tight race at the end.
Very competitive spacing. This one's going to come right down to the wire.
Lane 5, Lauren Buckland of Exeter wins that heat. Heat number 3 of 6. Lane 1 is Allison Childs of Exeter. Lane 2 is Jalen Beliveau of John Stark. Lane 3 is Mary Moran of Concord. Lane 4 is Eden DeLocke of Goffstown. Lane 5 is Emily Runnett of Exeter. In lane 6 is Eleanor Braun of Exeter. Lane 5, Emily Runnett of Exeter will win this heat. Next is heat 4 of 6. Lane 1, Johanna Dillaway of Goffstown. Lane 2 is Chloe Couture of Exeter. Lane 3 is Abby Poisson of Goffstown. Lane 4 is Emlyn Reed of Exeter. Lane 5 is Grace Sullivan of Exeter. And lane 6 is Elizabeth Siegfried of Exeter. Lane 2, Chloe Couture will win this heat. Heat 5 of 6, lane 1, Abby O'Brien of Concord. Lane 2 is Allison Kelly of Exeter. Lane 3 is Madeline Brown of Exeter. Lane 4 is Isabel Najer of Exeter. Lane 5 is Shauna Rubin of Exeter. And lane 6 is Grace Mercier of Exeter. Madeline Brown of Exeter. Lane 3 will win this heat. Heat 6 of 6. Lane 1 is Jess McGregor of Goffstown. Lane 2 is Elizabeth Baldarasso of Exeter. Lane 3 is Olivia Pelletier of Exeter. Lane 4 is Hilaire Weber of Exeter. Lane 5 is Anna Vanderslice of Exeter. And lane 6 is Anna Ishak of John Stark. Anna Vanderslice is a no-show in lane 5. Going to be close at the wire for this one.
Lane 2 having just a slight reach over lane 1.
Winner of this heat is lane 2, Elizabeth Baldessaro of Exeter. Next event is event 12, men's 100-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Alejandro Donati of Exeter. Lane 2 is Parker Bell of Goffstown. Lane 3 is Trent Doust of John Stark. Lane 4 is Joey Hurlicari of John Stark. Lane 5 is David Doucette of Exeter. And lane 6 is Oliver Blake of Exeter. The cut time for the 100-yard men's freestyle is 58.99 for the state championship meet. Lane 5, David Doucette of Exeter wins the heat. Heat 2 of 2. Lane 1, Will Baker of Exeter. Lane 2, Charles Blake of Exeter. Lane 3, Tony Min of Exeter. Lane 4, Chad Rocha of Exeter. Lane 5, Ethan Vanderwater of Exeter. And lane 6, Aaron Safarian of Concord. Lane 3, Tony Min of Exeter will win the heat. Next event is event number 13, women's 500-yard freestyle. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 1, Tegan Bevacqua of Goffstown. Lane 2 is Anna Vanderslice of Exeter. Lane 3 is Hilaire Weber of Exeter. Lane 4 is Megan Vanderwood of Exeter. And lane 5 is Isabel Vanderwood of Exeter. The state cut time for the 500 free women's. There is no cut time for the 500. There's not an event. There's no way around this. It's just a long event.
It is. It is.
Luckily, there's only one heat of the girls and one heat of the boys. Some of the larger meets, there's like 2 and 3 of each. And it go on for a while.
Absolutely. We had one of the larger meets down in Londonderry a little earlier this season and had several heats of this. And it is a very long event. You've got to marvel at these athletes' ability to keep their bodies going for that amount of time.
You definitely learn how to pace yourself in this.
Absolutely. The real enjoyable part of this particular event is as you get toward the end, the level of sportsmanship that you find from the teams as they offer their support with cheers and shouts of you can do it and go. It's always very fun to see.
It is. You just have to assume that these athletes are exhausted after this one.
Yes.
To put things in perspective, Halea Weber in lane 3 of Exeter just swam the 100 free less than a couple of minutes ago.
And right into this event afterward.
Yep.
And you can see Tegan's teammates on the men's and women's teams offering support from the sidelines, following her up and down the lane.
And they'll be doing it for their for another teammate in the next event, which is the men's 500. That bell signifies the last lap. Lane 4, Megan Vanderwood of Exeter will come in first.
2 swimmers left in the water, giving it their all to get to the end of this very long event.
This will be the final lap for both swimmers. Up next is event number 14, men's 500 freestyle. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 1 is Andrew Nutbrown of Exeter. Lane 2 is Kevin Quinn of Concord. Lane 3 is Jacob Bishop of Exeter. Lane 4 is Mason Pomeroy of Exeter. And lane 5 will be Elliot Anderson of Goffstown.
A lot of heart being shown right now by our final swimmer as she pushes herself to the finish line.
Definitely takes a lot out of you. Personally, I know I couldn't do it. Now you'll see the Goffstown teammates switch to lane 5 to support Elliot. So halfway through, with a little separation between lanes 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, lanes 2, 3, and 4. Mason Pomeroy in lane 4 of Exeter has a slight lead over his teammate in lane 3. setting up for a very good race at the end here.
Absolutely.
So final lap, we have basically a tie between the two Exeter teammates. Lanes 3 and 4, Jacob Bishop and Mason Pomeroy.
It's turned into a very challenging race for Goffstown, but he is refusing to give up, driving his way through.
First place goes to lane 4, Mason Pomeroy. Elliot Anderson, Goffstown, is on his final leg. One final swimmer in the water. He still has one more lap to complete. Next event is event number 15, women's 200-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 of 2. Lanes 2, 3, and 4 are all represented by Exeter High School. The Exeter team in lane 4 will take first place in Heat 1. Next up is Heat 2 of 2. Lane 2 is Goffstown. Lane 3 is Concord. Lane 4 is John Stark. And lane 5 is Goffstown. Lane 2, Goffstown team is represented by Abby Poisson, Emily Hollandale, Johanna Dillaway, and Jess McGregor. The Goffstown team in Lane 5 is represented by Tegan Bevaquata, Maggie Hansen, Maggie Heafield, and Abby Danielson.
A little struggle with the goggles in lane 5.
Goffstown could catch this. Coming in first place is lane 2, Goffstown. Next event is event number 16, men's 200-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 of 1, lane 1, Exeter, lane 2, Exeter, lane 3, Concord, lane 4, Goffstown, and lane 5, Exeter. Goffstown team is represented by Elliot Anderson, Parker Bell, Harrison Blondo, and Alex Estano. First place in that event was lane 2, Exeter. Next event is event number 17, women's 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1 of 2. Lane 1, Heather Holt, lane of Goffstown. Lane 2, Johanna Dillaway of Goffstown. Lane 3, Lily Fifield of Concord. Lane 4 is Maddie Duclos of John Stark. Lane 5 is Maggie Hansen of Goffstown. And lane 6, Lexi Quinn of Concord. First place, lane 6, Lexi Quinn of Concord. Heat 2 of 2. Lane 1, Emily Hohendel of Goffstown. Lane 2 is Laura Mustard of Exeter. Lane 3 is Mackenzie Patch of Exeter. Lane 4 is Elizabeth Balasaro of Exeter. Lane 5 is Chloe Couture of Exeter. And lane 6 is Casey. I'm going to pronounce her last name.
I'll leave that to you.
She's from John Stark.
Mackenzie Patch of Exeter off to a commanding lead.
Obviously, throughout the meet, we've read Exeter many, many times. They came with a team probably of 40, if not 50 swimmers. Very large team to come to a meet like this.
As the rest of the field only just now coming to their turn.
Lane 3, Mackenzie Patch will easily take first place. Next event, event number 18, men's 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 1, Alex Sestano of Goffstown. Lane 2, Ethan DeWater of Exeter. Lane 3 is Brady Dixon of Exeter. Lane 4 is Andrew Cataldo of Exeter. And lane 5 is Jay Blasco of Concord. And the state champion cut time for the 100-yard men's backstroke is 1:11:49.
Alex made up some great time coming out of that turn.
Yes. Alex is in second place at the halfway mark. Lane 3, Brady Dixon of Exeter will take first place. Alex Sano will take second. Next event is event number 19, women's 100-yard breaststroke. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 1, Bethany Fulton of John Stark. Lane 2 is Shauna Rubin of Exeter. Lane 3 is Erin Madden of Exeter. Lane 4 is Kaylin Patch of Exeter. And lane 5 is Violet Sullivan of Exeter. The state championship cut time for the women's 100-yard breaststroke is 1:21:99.
Mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Goffstown and John Stark, of course, trained together here at the Goffstown Y. We're seeing some of that camaraderie here as we have Goffstown team members urging on their John Stark teammates, training mates, I should say.
I've attended some of their practices, and they do get along pretty well. I mean, the coaches are basically intermingled with each other. You know, if one coach is in here, the other coach takes over.
Yep. Does seem to be a very collaborative effort between the two teams.
First place in that event is lane 4, Kaylin Patch of Exeter. Next event is event number 20, men's 100-yard breaststroke. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 2, Chad Rocha of Exeter. Lane 3, Mason Pomeroy of Exeter. Lane 4, Bradley Dixon of Exeter. And lane 5 is Adrian Delicoli of Exeter. In the state cut times for 100 men's breaststroke is 1:11:49. Lane 3, Madison Pomeroy of Exeter will win. All right, last two events. Next event is event number 21, the women's 400-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 of 1. Lane 1 is Exeter. Lane 2 is Exeter. Lane 3 is Concord. Lane 4 is John Stark. And lane 5 is Exeter. This is also a very tiring event.
It is. I was actually just thinking, I believe this is Regan Lord in lane 2. Pulled off an incredible pass of her opponents as soon as she got in the water.
Yes.
She just charged ahead, passed them before the turn even came, and put an incredible amount of distance in there.
So that team from Exeter did win that event. The next and final event of the evening is event number 22, men's 400-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 of 1, Lane 1 is Exeter. Lane 2 is Exeter. Lane 3 is Goffstown. Lane 4 is Concord. And lane 5 is Exeter. The Goffstown team is represented by Elliot Anderson, Parker Bell, Harrison Blondeau, and Alex Estano. Elliott's finish up. Parker and Bell is in next. Parker Bell coming into the home stretch. Next in will be Harrison Blondeau. Harrison coming in. Next in, final leg will be Alex Estano. And that'll be it for the Goffstown swim team for this night of January 5th, 2018. Be back in a couple of weeks.
Excellent. We'll see you
Thank
then.
you very much.